Hello again, Stephen. 6 months ago, we moved from Eugene to Albuquerque. Now that we're about to move again, let's talk about what it's been like to live here. This is the first episode of A City in Review, and this is Albuquerque. What I realized, Stephen, is that I'm always telling you what you should be making videos about, talking about how you have so many sources to pull ideas from. And here I am not truly tapping into one of the most defining aspects of my life, our travels. Sure, I'll make videos about our vacations and our road trips, but we move to a completely new city every 6 months. So what I'm going to try to start is a new recurring series called A City in Review. At the end of every contract, I'll talk about where we've been living and what the experience has been like. So like I said, for the past 6 months, we've been living in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Here's some quick facts about the city itself. Although the area itself was heavily populated by Native Americans before the arrival of the Europeans, the city itself was officially founded in 1706 as a Spanish colony. Starting out as a farming community and a military outpost, the city saw real growth in the 1900s due to its location along Route 66 and then the establishment of Kirtland Air Force Base and Sandia National Laboratories, still the two big name employers in the city today. The city has an area of 189.5 square miles with an estimated population of just over 500,000. The name is Spanish and is named after a city in the Badajoz province of Spain. So we lived in this part of the city. The Sandia Mountains lie to the east, so the city is divided into the heights and the valleys. 40 and 25 are the two major interstates that run through the city, and just southwest of their intersection is downtown. When we move to a new city, we have to kind of work out for ourselves blindly what parts of the city are nice, are safe, but this time we had an advantage. We signed up for a doula service before moving, and when looking at apartments, she recommended we stay north of I-40. This ritzy part of the city is essentially the far northeast, and we'll bring up Breaking Bad again, but just as a point of reference, Walt lives here, Jesse lives here, and most of the sketchy dealings that go down in the show happen either south of I-40, near the university, or west of downtown. Talking about weather, I thought we were moving to a desert. When we told people in Oregon we were moving to New Mexico, everyone was making jokes about moving to the desert heat, and truth be told, that's what we were expecting too. I even make a comment during the road trip down here.
Okay, so we are in the desert now, and it's just nothing.
The city has proved us totally wrong. It may look like a desert if you look west of the city, but we're living at the base of a mountain. Yes, there were some hot days when we arrived, but it also rained a ton. By the time Thanksgiving rolled around, we were getting snow, and I mean legitimate snow, not just a dusting. Since about mid-November, most days have been in the 40s or colder, with freezing temperatures almost every night. Not quite the barren desert, warm winter weather we were expecting. In terms of seeing the local sights, at the risk of sounding more negative than I intend to be, we had a severe impediment for this contract. Trish was 7 months pregnant when we moved here in August, and the desire to go out and experience Albuquerque in 90-degree summer heat in the last 2 months of pregnancy was, to put it mildly, low. Her due date was September 20th. Our son ended up coming on October 3rd. And as you might expect, we spent the first couple months, figuring out the whole brand new parents taking care of a newborn thing. No sightseeing at all. Plus, we had our parents in town one at a time visiting to see the baby. Granted, when my dad came at the end of October, we did go out and do a self-guided Breaking Bad sightseeing tour. It's funny, but at the end of the show, Walt had become such an infamous figure that they had to put a fence around his house. And in reality, the house used to film the white residents has become such a local landmark that the actual residents that live there have put up a fence themselves. Reality mimicking television. Anyway, we spent the first few months adjusting to our new lives. Then in mid-December, we road tripped to Oklahoma and spent a week there visiting family. Made a video about that. Trish had surgery right when we got back, and after that, there was a post-op recovery period, and then she and I both, in turn, caught cold. So now that it's our last month here, we are finally getting out to see some of the sights. So far, we've been to the Petroglyphs National Monument, a bunch of rocks with old Native American etchings, and to Sandia Peak. Like I said earlier, Sandia is the mountain range that lies just east of the city. Kind of like when you're driving around Portland, you can always see Mount Hood lying out to the east. Well, for Albuquerqueans, Sandia is their hood. There's a tramway that takes you on a 15-minute ride from the base to the top, and once you get to the top, there's not a ton to do if you're not going to take advantage of the ski slopes on the backside of the mountain. The ride up and down is totally worth the ticket price, though. So in wrapping this up, we have truly enjoyed living in Albuquerque. It's one of the more Tulsa-like towns that we've lived in that it's laid out for the most part in a grid, and with traffic being fairly mild here, you can get across town in about 15 to 20 minutes. Dining options, fast food and restaurant change similar to what you would get in Oklahoma. We've tried a few local things as well, mostly by ordering food delivered. Flying Star, Farina Alta, Rosemary, Cinnamon Cafe, and Stripes are all favorite of ours. Oh, and Blake's Lottaburger as well. They may not look like much on the outside, but they make a fantastic green chili burger. Pretty much no matter where you go, the local obsession with green chilies is apparent. Even big chains like Sonic and McDonald's offer their own green chili options here. It's not Trish's cup of tea, but I like it. So in about a week, we'll be heading east, moving all the way across the country to Maryland. We are excited. We loved living there right outside DC the first time around. Expect a video chronicling the road trip to pop up in about 2 weeks. But for now, Stephen, I hope that you make a video soon, and as always, I will talk to you later.